Hey everybody, Shadow Phoenix here. Welcome to the channel. This is Railway Empire we are going to be playing today. It is the start of a brand new series here on my channel, along with Planet Coaster, City Skylines, and a few others. Some Subnautica we're going to be playing through. We're going to be going through some of the campaigns and a few other things on this game and kind of going in depth into it a little bit. I've got to say, it's a game that I've had for probably about a month, maybe 2 months, and I haven't actually touched yet. But I've been really into like Hell on Wheels on Netflix here lately, and really kind of been watching that. So I'm kind of addicted to that show at this moment, and almost finished it. I've been binge watching it for like the last week. So I'm very much into trains in the Old West right now at the moment, and this game looks amazing for that. So without further ado, let's kind of take a look at the game right now in the beginning before we get started and kind of look and see what we have here. So we have different kind of games you can play. We have campaign mode, scenarios, free mode, and sandbox mode. Alright, I don't know what sandbox mode is yet, or free mode. Scenarios obviously is like same as Planet Coaster. It gives you set objectives and you play through those. Free mode, I'm guessing, is more of a set up your own kind of scenarios kind of thing where you can play, you know, and work through money and stuff. Sandbox mode is probably the same thing as free mode, just no actual money involved or anything, just build as you please, which kind of takes the challenge out of it. But what we're going to start off with a little bit at first is let's go to campaign mode, because I have no idea how to play this game. So hopefully there's a tutorial or something in here. I don't see anything about a tutorial, but we do have chapter 1. Let's see, scenario. Alright, so if it has a silver star, it's completed. If it has a gold star, it's completed. A silver is completed. Alright. Alright, so chapter 1, Great Plains, 1863. Their first chapter takes you to the construction site of the Union Pacific Railroad, which was started in 1863. Tracks were built westwards to establish the first transcontinental line, while you are conquering the vastness of the Great Plains and the heights of the Rocky Mountains with your tracks. You will learn about the basics of a railway empire. Thomas Clark Durant, the visionary in charge of the Union Pacific, was it? Wait, what? Thomas Clark. Hey, that's the name of the guy on Hell on Wheels. Wait, so he's an actual guy? I thought the entire show was fictional. Like, I actually thought the railroad was fictional and everything, but apparently Union Pacific is the name of the railroad, and it was ran by Thomas Clark Durant. Interesting. Alright. I'm a big history buff, and I didn't know that. I mean, I knew about the transcontinental railways and stuff, but I don't know too much about railroad history at all, so that is cool. Alright, so basically the huge jerk from Hell on Wheels is the character in the game. Alright. Let's continue on. Alright, so let's see. Same thing here and here. That didn't change. There's our map. Let's see, initial capital, 650,000. Starting city's Omaha. We can't change any of this stuff because it's campaign mode, so this is just going through stuff. I'm pretty sure this is just like more tutorial mode than anything to kind of get you into the game. Pause mode is normal. Game pauses automatically when building tracks, signals, and buildings, and in bulldozer mode. Alright, so anytime we're actually doing any kind of construction, the game will be paused. Alright.
The rest are just gold diggers who don't have a clue about how this business works.
When visiting his gentleman's club, Roger Smith is always impeccably dressed from top to toe. In a suit, top hat, playing blah 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 blah. Successful. Okay, so this is the character. Can we choose any others?
I did an evaluation of the contenders, and I am the best choice.
Well, I'm glad he seems to think so, but apparently he's the only option we get. So I guess you can choose different characters, and each character gets a different bonus. But in the first chapter, we only get one, and he receives 5% higher freight prices. All right, so I've actually already went in.
Meticulous planning, tables, figures, and hard facts.
All right, thanks, Mr. Interrupting Cow. So what is your name? I've kind of played this a little bit beforehand, just slightly, and I did not do very well. But I gave him a name of Jeremiah Bullweevil because he looks like a bull.
Sometimes I think about giving everything up and dedicating my life to poetry. How about you?
Oh, great poetry. That means you'll just talk even more. All right, let's continue out of this because I'm tired of listening to the Jeremiah Bow Weevil go on and on about.
In 1863,
and we got a
on the
cutscene.
banks of the Missouri River, the last chapter in the monumental undertaking of the Transcontinental Railroad began. The workers of the Union Pacific Railroad began laying their tracks westward from Omaha through the wild heart of the North American continent. Massive challenges awaited them. Away from all civilization, the country was vast, the weather ruthless, and the challenges tremendously energy-sapping. But there was a masterstroke of modern engineering to be accomplished, to tame the wilderness and to conquer it with steel, fire, and steam. Never before had anything like this been ventured, but the time was ripe.
Greetings. My name is Thomas Clark Durand. Exactly, the head of Union Pacific. We will go down in history as the ones who created the Transcontinental Railroad. And that, my friend, is your job as chief engineer. I can't supervise everything here on site right now, as I have to meet with some politicians in Washington.
Okay.
First, you should familiarize yourself with the basic controls. Move the camera in all directions. Now, test the camera's zoom function. You can also rotate the camera. Give it a try. Very good. Now you know the basic controls. Your first task is to create a rail connection between Omaha and Norfolk to the northwest. Both cities will need a station for this. You already have a station in Omaha, but you still need to build one in Norfolk. To do this, switch to building construction mode.
Okay, now that he's finished talking, thank you, Mr. Durant, for those excellent instructions. He doesn't really look anything like the character played by Cole Meany in Hell on Wheels, but we will forgive him for that. So he's kind of the character I love to hate in that show, I'll be honest. It's a great show. If you guys haven't watched it yet, I highly suggest it. If you like a good Western, it's really, really good. Alright, so let's get back into the game and quit talking about TV shows. So, we already have, here we have Omaha, here we have Norfolk. We have little movies that you can play right here in the game, and it kind of tells you how to do things, such as city stations have to be built near a city center. All buildings can be rotated before being placed. Alright, so you can kind of choose where you want to put it. I guess you can put it right in the middle of the city. You don't have to worry about destroying buildings or anything. Alright, and then let's trash that. Alright, so get rid of that. That's something you can do in the game. Don't forget to do that if you've already read those and you want to get rid of the little tutorial things. Make sure you hit that little trash can next to it. Alright, so what I will be doing is playing a game a little bit here, trying to finish this first scenario. I learned a few things from playing through it once before, but I never finished it because I did a lot of screw-ups. So hopefully we don't screw up this time and we don't get trains stuck on railways and stuff all the time. Alright, so let's go to construction mode. But before we do that, let's take a look up here and see what we have. We have our options menu. Let's see. Load option. What's in our options? We have gameplay, controls, graphics, sound. Alright, all of that there. Let's see here. Continue playing. Tips and tricks. Here we have like tips, tricks, things of that nature that we can go into. If there's something you don't understand about the game, you can check these things out here, like economy, transport, business, all that stuff like that. Tasks. These are the tasks that we'll have to do in our scenario modes if we're playing scenario or our campaigns. So here in a little bit, Mr. Durant down here will give me some tasks to complete, and we'll have to go through those. The company, here's where you get find out how much your buildings and stuff are worth, your value. Data such as trains in use, we don't have any. We have one station right now at the moment. That's pretty much all of that. Here's your character, etc., etc. Research, there are tons of research in this. Look at this. It just goes through different timelines here, like 18... I can't see because his name's in the way. 1850 to... This is like 20 years right here. 1870 to... well, 1870 apparently. But look at how many things you can do. You can always go back here. There's like old things too, like the grasshopper, which was one of the first trains or rail devices ever built, I believe. Let's see. I remember seeing this. This was something they had in Hell on Wheels when they were building the bridge in season 2. They had one of these. It was just like a little steam engine they were working on. All right. So a lot of my stuff is going to be, I may talk a lot about Hell on Wheels. Like I said, I'm really into that show right now. Right. And then we have company and construction as well, so you can get things to help your company and things here. We'll look at this more in depth later on. Engine shed. Here you can kind of get a good look at your trains. You can rotate that. You can rotate use your arrow keys to rotate the train itself. Don't do both at the same time. You can get dizzy from that. You can even blow the whistle on the train. Well, that's pretty cool. Right. We don't have any other trains unlocked right now, so we can't do much with that. Personnel. We obviously don't have any personnel yet. Flow of goods. Here's your game speed. It has 2 game speeds as far as I know. It has super fast and regular speed. Alright, so let's go ahead and let's start building our railroad. So as Mr. Durant boldly told us earlier, we have already a station in Omaha, so we got to connect Omaha to Norfolk. First thing we got to do is let's build a station in Norfolk. We will start with a small train station. We don't need anything bigger than a small train station. And let's put it right up here. I don't like, this is really bright green and I can't see where things are going. So it's got this really weird rotation kind of mode on it, which is I'm not sold on. You have to hold shift and then use your mouse scroll wheel to like make the construction things kind of roll. Yeah, I'm not 100% sold on that. I don't really care for that too much. But all right, so let's. I like that.
Very good. Now the 2 stations need to be connected with tracks. To do this, switch to track construction mode.
All right, so now we get to build some track. Yeah. So we'll hit this button right up here for track
Now plan the tracks between the stations in Norfolk and Omaha. To do this, select the 2 station tracks one after the other. Then pay for your track planning.
All right, so as he said, you basically, here's basic track building in a nutshell. Select. See how easy that is? That is really easy. But you can also do other things too. If you want your track to go a certain way, and I'm not really micromanagement about that, you can do points. It's still going to cost you about the same, but you can actually sometimes save a little bit of money by doing this. And at some point in the future, we will show that tip a little more in depth. It basically has to do with inclines, bridges, things of that nature. Bridges are expensive, tunnels are expensive. Going over a mountain when you can go around it, you know, if you just click on 2 things, it's going to find the shortest length, not necessarily the cheapest route. So there you have it. Now that you have your route constructed, or not constructed, but planned, this is where we plan on doing this, and I think we can move these around too. Yeah, you can hold and see we can move these around. Let's try to get that a little straighter there. I like that. Okay, there we go. So now we have our route planned.
Now create your first train so that you can set up a rail line between your stations.
All right, so now we have to create our first train. So new train.
Initially, your train only exists on paper. It's not much use to you without a locomotive.
A locomotive? What's a locomotive? I've heard of locomotives, but I've never heard of a locomotive. That's okay. He has a strange accent, Mr. Durant does down there. All right, add a locomotive. Or set up a rail line. Let's do set up a rail line. So we want it to go to Omaha, Norfolk. And then once you have the 2 things selected, it gives you where it's going to be going. So the train is going to be traveling back and forth between these 2 cities right here. No locomotive chosen. I don't know what this stuff is, but Now we just have to add a locomotive to it. So we only have one to start off with, which is the Philadelphia, one of the older steam train models. 5.
Very good. Now you can see the journey your train will take. If there is something to transport, the train will automatically take it. However, as each locomotive needs water, sand, and lubricant on its journey, you have to place a supply tower along the route.
Okay, so supply towers. Let's talk about supply towers now. All right, supply towers are something you have to have on your route, and it's best to try to put them right in the middle if you can. So basically, you just go into your construction mode by hitting this, go down to supply towers. Never forget these. These are very important for your trains because your trains will like run out of, not really run out of juice, but they will break down if you don't take care of them with water and stuff. They are steam trains. These are not like electric trains and stuff.
Very good. Your train is now traveling between Omaha and Norfolk. But you can do even more. Each city needs goods from the surrounding area. For example, every city needs corn.
Corn?
Look, there is a corn farm near Omaha. Until now, the corn has made it to the city in the conventional way, but we want to change that. Now construct a rural train station in the marked location with a corn farm within its radius.
Okay. All right. So we have to find the carn, as he so loves to say, the carn. It's corn, Mr. Durant. Corn. Say it with me. Corn. All right. So anyway, let's get some carn to Omaha and Norfolk. So as he said, let's build a small train station out here. Now, the difference between train stations and the cities and the train stations in these rural, like the resources, basically, is that you cannot put a train station into the actual resource. You have to put it just outside like that, so it can, you know, and you have certain links and stuff. The bigger the train station, the more radius you have, but, yep. So we're going to hold down a shift key and rotate. That is so strange. I don't quite understand why they did that. We want to line this up just right to use the less length as well. That's good.
Now connect the new rural train station to the station in Omaha.
Oh, crap. You know what I just did? I built a bigger station. I only wanted a single station, and I built a big one. I just wasted money. Can I get that back? I cannot. Oh well. Alright, so mistake number 1. And tip number 1. I guess you could say tip number 5 or whatever. I haven't been keeping track of tips and stuff. I've been telling you guys. But okay, so make sure when you select your train stations, make sure you select the right train station, and don't do the same mistake I did and pay $100,000 or more for a train station with double lines in a rural area that you don't need. But nonetheless, all right. Alright, let's go out here. How do we have this? Sure. There's our planned route.
And now things are getting tricky as we have to deal with a logistical problem. As Norfolk should also enjoy fresh corn, there will soon be 2 trains traveling on the stretch of track between Omaha and Norfolk. Of course, this will then result in a conflict. Since trains cannot travel through each other, you'll need a side track between Omaha and Norfolk. This consists of 1 parallel track and 2 signals. First, create a side track. It needs to be at least long enough for a fully loaded train.
Okay, So now we're going to talk about switches, tracks, and how to get like multiple trains on one single track and things like that. So as he said, we need to create a parallel track at one point. In other words, we're going to have a train collision. Because as we know, trains aren't very good. They're not very transparent. Trains don't go well when they run into each other. Ask Amtrak about that. Yep. All right. So let's see here. And that's not a joke about the recent tragedy of Amtrak. That is a joke about Amtrak in general. They're so bad. Let's see. Track construction. All right. So first we choose there. So you want to make sure that when you're choosing these that you have that little, see right there, if you choose anywhere else, see how it has 2 tracks? Don't do that. Do this. So see how the tracks are running into each other? That means you have it selected where it can come across. And then bring it down. And then bring it together. Alright, so that's how you do that. Now we have 2 parallel tracks planned.
Excellent. However, your trains won't necessarily use the sidetrack, as they generally always take the shortest route. For this reason, you also have to specify the direction of travel on each parallel track.
Alright, now this is where we get
open
into
building
signals.
construction mode and set up a signal in the highlighted area pointing in the direction of the switch. Trains will then be able to stop here when the single track is in use.
Okay, here we go. Let's talk about signals now. So signals is how you basically manage your traffic on your tracks. Anybody who's familiar with City Skylines may know how to do these actually. So the green arrow points the direction that trains will travel. And we want to place it at the end of this. So since this one's going this way, we want to place this one down here, right before it gets into the switch. And then we want to place another one up here before this switch. But we don't want it to go that way. We're going to have 2 trains going the same way. It's kind of stupid. So hold down your shift key and rotate that. So now we have, there we go. Now our trains are going that way. So now we have trains going this way and trains going this way. But there's one more trick we will have to do here. Mr. Drat, what's the problem? Why can't I not go on? Alright, since he's not going to tell us, I guess I will. I don't know what he's... Alright, so sometimes Mr. Durant down here gets stuck and he doesn't want to go on because he didn't do something specifically the way that he wanted you to do it. Which is what's happened in this case. So let's remove the signals because we didn't do it his way. Okay. Open building construction, set up a signal in the highlighted area pointing in the direction of the switch. Alright, maybe we have to watch this. What is the deal? Alright, game, thanks.
Now make sure that the track can only be traveled in one direction. For this purpose, set the signal so that trains coming from the opposite direction cannot pass.
Alright, so now that we've got it figured out what the issue was, I was selecting the wrong track in the wrong direction. He specifically wanted this track to go this direction, not this direction, which is the way I wanted it to go. So you have to pay very careful attention to things, and then it still doesn't really even tell you that much what you have to do. So bad tutorial is bad. Alright, so now we select our route right there, right? So select your signal, and as he said, hold down the shift button and select the signal.
Excellent.
Now
do the same on the parallel track so that each parallel track has a different direction. Place a second signal in the highlighted area and block the track to trains coming from the opposite direction. Very good. I'm sure that wasn't at all easy. You will soon come to realize that signals are an important aid in guaranteeing smooth rail operations. You will find more information and tips under Hints and Tips.
Alright, now we got that figured out. We got past that tutorial, which is a puzzle in its own right.
Now assemble a new train and give it a locomotive and a rail line. Your new rail line should run via Omaha to Norfolk so that the people of Norfolk can be supplied with corn.
Okay. Alright, so now that he's done talking here, let's discuss this right here. So you see how I placed the supply tower down earlier when it was on one line? If you have two lines like this right next to each other and you place them right next to a supply tower, you will have the supply tower will handle both trains, which is good if you're going to be doing parallel tracks. That's a great thing to do right there. Probably should have made our track a little longer in there, but that works. That's good. Now assemble a new train and give it a locomotive and a rail line. The new rail line should travel from the Rules train station to Omaha to Norfolk. Okay, so let's go down here to our giant station we built for this corn farm. Obviously, he must have contributed quite a bit to the railroad to get this big of a station. Politics. Alright, let's see. So now we need a new train. Separate rail line. Alright, so we're going to do woo-woo to there, and then to here, and then back. So now we've got, so it's going to go this direction, and no, it's not going to go like this or like this. It's actually going to go do-do-do, so back and forth. Now we need to add a locomotive to it, as Mr. Durant told us to do, so we will
Excellent.
buy that
the corn farm will automatically make use of your train because the cities along your rail line are demanding corn. Conventional transportation is much more costly for the farm. We are still missing something. Locomotives wear out over time and need to be regularly maintained so they can perform their duties more reliably. For this purpose, there needs to be at least one maintenance building on each rail line where locomotives can be serviced if necessary. Construct such a maintenance building at your station in Omaha now. To do this, select the station itself and expand the station with this building.
Alright, so we select our train station, and then we go over here to construct a maintenance building. Alright, and let's get some maintenance done this. Construct a maintenance building.
Right. We've been lollygagging for long enough. I need to return to Washington for further miserable negotiations with our representatives of the people. I've written a task list for you. Take a look at it and complete the tasks within the given time period. Do not disappoint me.
Do not disappoint me. Disappoint. I can't even say it the way he did. That's... wow. I can't make fun of him if I can't say it the same way he did. Disappoint me? I think he said it with two S-A-s. Disappoint me. Yeah, alright, anyway. Tips and tricks. This is where the tips and tricks comes in now. So you can see that's been highlighted, but we don't need that. Let's go into our tasks. As I said earlier, he would give us some tasks to do. And here we are. I really wish we could pause the game, but we can't. Come through the Great Plains by rail started, so we need to connect, by 1864, we need to connect Omaha and North Plot. Or as I like to call it, North Pilates. Connect Omaha and Cheyenne as well. We also need optional tasks here. Deliver 16 loads of cattle to Denver. Deliver 16 loads of meat to Cheyenne. Connect 150,000 people to a rail network. And reach a population of 30,000. So we need to do these and these for sure, but these are just optional. Alright, so let's start with our first one here. Connect Omaha and North Pilates and Omaha and Cheyenne. So let's see here. We have... what do we got here? The demand for imported good meat has been reduced as the maximum stock level has been reached. Okay. Build a roll. We don't need that. I built a much larger train station than we needed. God, I can't believe I did that. Okay. So now let's see. What do we have here? What we got going on with these little information balloons? Demand for imported good meat. Yeah, we saw that already. The better a city is supplied with goods by rail, the faster it goes. Select the city dialogue and learn more about its requirements. Okay. Ooh, wait, we just leveled up. All right. Look at that. All right, so need to connect Omaha to North Pilates. Oh, here's North Pilates right here. So we need to connect there, there. We can do that by just simply going to here. So let's go ahead and do that now. Oh, we don't have a train station. Oops. Oh, okay, so every time you do something kind of interesting or meet a demand or something like that, you get these little newspapers that pop up. Unrest in New York. Populace does not want to go to war. Following new troops concertions, unrest is broken out among the immigrants in New York due to the option of being released from this military service for payment of $300. The accusation is that this is a rich man's war and a poor man's fight. Officials are, however, optimistic this unrest will soon die down. Then you have these little kind of other things down here, like cowboys are synonymous with adventure, freedom, and campfires. You know, some of these are kind of funny. Washington Rick Frazier is thought to be one of the most intelligent people on the planet. This is backed up by many prizes he has won in competitions. People always think smart people do smart things, but I've only ever done really stupid ones. Okay. All right, let's see here. So let's do a building, okay, and a small train station over here in North Pilates. We'll have to run up through Cheyenne there. Okay, so let's do this. What is this info bubble? Build city stations in the center to attract as many passengers as possible. Build the train station as close as possible to industries to reduce loading times. And now there we go. Okay, so I was planning something out a little bit ago before we got the message from the newspaper. That's pretty much a straight line. That's pretty cool.
Good. That's finished. You're making progress.
And we got a bonus from connecting that city. The 100th meridian has been crossed. Transcontinental Railroad, no longer a dream. Last few days, laborers from the Union Pacific Railroad have crossed the 100th meridian with their tracks. With this first milestone, Union Pacific has now ensured the right to forge ahead with the line through the heart of the continent. Renowned politicians and representatives of the railroad celebrated this achievement with a festive excursion to the scene of the event. Mother forgets child. Day before yesterday was different, though. After spending a long time. Teddy joins the police. Police officer Joshua Jones is a new partner. And over. Okay, none of that's important. I am trying to become a railroad baron here, and I do not need to be bothered by these trivial, petty things of the general public. Right, so let's see. Now we have our rail line from Omaha to Norfolk. Let's make this line here. Okay, that's. There we go. Changes made to rail line. All right, so far we're doing pretty good. The game running? I think it is. Omaha to North Platte. Then we have Evans Farm that goes to Omaha. Okay. There we go. Evans Farm to Norfolk. So we can select this one. And that shows me nothing, really, I can work with. Okay. So let's move on to our other task here, which is connecting to... What was our other task? Omaha and Cheyenne. So we probably need to connect from North Pilates, I love saying that, to Cheyenne, which is up here. Oh, look, we have these two things right here in the middle. And put a train station right there. Let's do that. So build a construction, small train station. Okay, we can't get them both. They're too far apart. See how that is? All right, so where these things are too far apart, we cannot do anything here. But let's try a different train station. Let's try this one. Just out of reach. See that? I'm going to have one or the other, but I can't have both. I can if I do this, though, but that's $200,000. We got money. Let's do it. And then let's put a small station here with 2 lines in Cheyenne, because we're going to be doing a lot with Cheyenne. So let's do... Let's turn this. Let's do this way. Sweet. Alright. And let's see, we need a supply tower. I forgot to put a supply tower on our track over here between the Lotties and the other place here. And let's build some track. To the middle? That cost $80,000. I like to zoom in close so I can see, so that's why I kind of like to plan out my railroad a little bit here. Alright, and let's go with the... Let's go with the top one. We got another bonus.
Those politicians in Washington get on one's nerves. But now let's get back to your tasks. As you can see, Cheyenne is still a little town hoping for an upswing caused by the railroad connection, but a city will only attract new inhabitants if it is supplied with enough goods. Cities receive basic goods from the surrounding area. If you construct stations in the right places and establish rail lines, your trains will be used to transport goods and you will make profits for transportation. But for this, you have to know what goods a city actually needs. You can find out any city's current needs. Now select Cheyenne and view the city's demand for goods.
Cheyenne. Alright, and information. Alright, city size is 1. 15,000 inhabitants, consumption carloads per week.
As you can see, Cheyenne currently needs only a handful of goods, and you can only deliver goods that are in demand. As the city grows, it will demand further goods. At the moment, you can supply grain and wood. Both of these goods are available to the north of Cheyenne.
Stock in the city. So this is what the city has. This is its weekly demand. Weekly production. This is what it produces every week. Weekly demand, all cities. Weekly production, all businesses. I don't quite understand this stuff just yet, so hopefully it'll go into some more detail or we'll learn a little bit more as we go.
Connect Cheyenne to a timber business and a wheat farm and establish a new rail line that connects them both to Cheyenne.
Cheyenne. I like how he says Cheyenne. Alright, so I guess we're going to build another train station. So since these two are too far apart, I don't think this one will work. It will not. So we'll have to build another one of these big ones right here. Let's go from the middle. And wait, before we do that, I want to do something else. Let's talk a little bit about managing more of our stations and stuff here. So, alright, let's get out of that. Let's go down here to the station. So this is something I was kind of planning on a little bit here in advance. So I knew I needed 3 tracks here, but I didn't need 4 or anything. So let's take a look at our train station. And right here on the right, you can add another station, expand station. Number of tracks after the expansion. So this will cost me 100,000. But now we have 4 tracks. See? So there we go. Now, track expansion. Ooh, see how much that costs? Look at that bridge. That's too much. No, I don't like that. Let's get rid of that. That isn't. I'm not happy with that. I'm being picky here. That doesn't suit me. Go from the other side. Trying to get that incline down a little bit. Let's go in the middle. I'm good with that. Alright, now let's get a rail. We need a train. So let's set up a rail line. Between here. And here. Wait, why can't I not do that? Because we don't have another train? There we go. New train. I forgot to hit that. New train. Set up rail line between here and Cheyenne. Add a locomotive. We'll go with another one of these. Buy it.
Well done. The city will soon grow. You can see how well it is being supplied at any time in the city dialogue. Basically, a city will grow once its demands are sufficiently met. I think you have learned enough. Complete the rest of your tasks.
Okay, so now...
But you certainly won't have any success with so little capital. I might have not planned on this being a loss-making business, but I'll help you out this one last time.
Is he going to help me out? I thought he was going to give me money or something. Okay, well, alright, he did not make me money. Let's go ahead and let's look at our Omaha to North Palate. Okay, let's get this into the mix here and here. There we go. Okay, so now we have a couple different trains. Should we add another train? I don't know. What do you think? Should we do something from... I'm pretty happy with what we have. Let's get a track from Cheyenne to Denver. Let's go ahead and we'll do that. Manage train. Building construction. Let's do this train station here. Right, track construction. Let's do... We have a problem somewhere. I don't know where our problem is, but we have a problem somewhere. Right. Weird. Okay. There we go. Okay, and let's buy that. Okay, now the reason I'm going to Denver is because we are looking at our tasks here. So we've completed these two, but it is 1863. By 1866, we need to have these done, which is deliver 16 loads of cattle to Denver. So we need to get some cattle for Denver. And the best way to do that is right up here we have, as you can see, a ton of cattle up here. We also have cattle up here as well. We could take... Take my broken wings. Alright. Let's do a regular train station here. Can we get both of these? No. What about if we build a large station down here? We can get both of these right here. What is that anyway? It looks like some kind of bamboo or something. Alright. That's 200,000. We don't need that. Let's do this. That works. And let's get a new line from there to there. And let's add a train to that as well. So there we go. Add a locomotive, as Mr. Durant said earlier in the game. Bye. Union Pacific Railroad increases route length. All right, we have now over 1,058 miles of long track. Dynamite Fred prize fight, scary and scientist, none of that matters. Extends network, 9 stations currently connected. We're doing quite well with 9 stations. Ooh, okay, yeah, we need to make sure our stuff is staying good. So we need to place some supply towers down. There. 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 We're about to run low on cash. That one's losing money. I don't know why. Evans Farm to Cheyenne. Wait, why are we going from Evans Farm to Cheyenne? We don't need to do that. No. Oh, wait. It just needs to go to that. Evans Farm to Norfolk. Yeah. Omaha to Cheyenne. Yep. We've got trains stuck somewhere. Locomotive slowed due to missing equipment. What missing equipment? Oh, does it need a supply tower too? I thought I put a supply tower in. Did I not? Alright, well, we put one in there now. Why is this train stuck here? Alright. Oh, there we go. Okay, that train's going now. Alright, I'm starting to get the hang of this. So now we have... How many trains do we have total? Okay, that one's fixed. Oh, what do we got going on over here? Let's see. Setting up warehouses. Warehouses can receive and dispatch goods. This means you can also build central goods deposits. Okay. Do we need that?
Well done. The citizens of Denver are impressed by the railroad.
Oh, we must have just completed a task. Yes, we delivered 16 goods of cattle to Denver. Over 16 goods of meat to Cheyenne. Meat to Cheyenne. Do we not have a train going from Cheyenne to Denver? Thought we did. No, we don't have anything on that. Okay. Let's do...
Yes, one more thing. Your company has also a research department to help you unlock new locomotives and other innovations. Open the research dialog to find out more about it.
Kelly Ranch to Denver. So that only goes that way. Let's go ahead and open this up a little further. Why is it not going to Denver? Or to Cheyenne? Why can't I get a... Okay, for some odd reason I can't put a train on that track and I don't know why. Oh, I see now. I don't want to remove the whole thing. I actually just want to move it over. Damn it, I have to move the whole thing. Really? Oh, that's going to be expensive. Well, damn. Alright. Yeah, I've screwed up. That was my bad. Alright, but at least we figured it out. Oh, there was a perfect example of how I just saved some money. So before, see how it was building that bridge right there, right? And it was like 49,000 or something. By selecting here and then selecting here, I decreased at, we didn't have to build a bridge. Got it down to 31,000, saved some money. Ta-da! Sweet. Alright, now we just need Kosh.
Here you will find the advances that can be achieved in the current era. Advances from previous eras are usually already active, but what the future holds, we do not know. For each advance, you require innovation points, which you get automatically each month, and which can be increased in various ways. Now, take a look around here, and then unlock an innovation of your choosing. How about a new locomotive?
How about a new locomotive? Let's see, what kind of locomotives can we get? It looks like we can get this locomotive. The number 51 Dragon. Are you sure you want to unlock this development? Yeah, it's the only one I can unlock right now at the moment, so yes.
My opponents say I'm lining my own pockets. These are, of course, hideous lies. And look at it this way. With the profits I'm making, I can invest much more. Jobs, jobs, jobs.
Yeah, sure, right. Alright, so there we go. Now we got a new locomotive. That's our new word. We're going to call it locomotives. I'm literally going to... That's what I'm going to call this episode. Railway Empire Locomotives. Alright, let's see here. Can we rename towns? Oh, we can't. Alright. What we got going on? In longest route, each locomotive requires a supply sire. So I'm going to take water. Okay, yeah, I know that. Following applies to all train stations. The larger the station, the shorter the loading and unloading times. Okay. Our trains are all running smoothly. This is going much better than the first time I played this, by the way. Because of a steep incline. What?
I have to wrangle with a lot of competitors, but if one person really gets on my nerves, then it's that Beatrix von Pomp. What? You haven't encountered her yet? Be glad. She takes everyone to the cleaners.
Does she now? Okay, then. Ooh, what's that? Some kind of thunderstorm going on over here. Ooh, that looks nasty. Let's stay out of that. Okay. What do we need to do now? Tasks. Deliver 16 loads of meat to Cheyenne. Why are we not delivering meat to Cheyenne? Okay. I don't quite understand that. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit later. Oh, there we go. Oh, now we are. Okay, it's just kind of slow. Or we probably need a more powerful train on that, but... Alright, we've almost got the 150,000 people, so we've almost got all of our optional tasks done. We'll have that shortly. Reach a population of 30,000. We've almost got that as well, so we're about to hit that. We just need to connect Omaha and Rock Springs. Okay, so that'll be the last thing we need to do is connect to these two
Excellent.
railroads.
Cheyenne is becoming a major railroad hub, and the credit is all ours.
We got some nice little places that we can do along the way as well. So let's do a station. Let's do a small train station. We don't need anything really big over here. Zoom in so I can see what we're doing here, because I like to be very specific with these things. Now, can we get these two connected? From Omaha to Colorado Springs is one of them. We have, where's that coming in from? So we need to go, what, to this second track right here, right? Okay. Let's bring it out. That works. How much is it? 130,000? Bam!
Now you've managed to cross the Great Plains. A masterpiece.
Alright, our meat will be delivered shortly. We've almost got that. Transport 100 passengers from Cheyenne to Rock Springs without stopping. Okay, so that's the last one we have to do. We've almost got the other task completed. From Cheyenne to Rock Springs without stopping. Alright, so we just have to get the passengers down there. That'll be the last thing we need. Alright, so we're going to skip ahead now. Let's just go ahead and turn our game speed up and let's get going here. We did it all within a year. Eat your heart out, Colin Bohannon. I'm a much better chief engineer than you are. I am a railroad baron. I made these guys work hard, and I made them work fast, and we got everything we needed done within a year. Well, let's see, we started in 1863. Well, 2 years. Years is pretty good. It took them much longer to cross the intercontinental line and stuff than in real life than it did for me to do this. So that's pretty cool. Alright, come on. How we doing? We don't have... Oh, well, you know why? We don't have... Oh, we forgot to put a train on it. You know, that might help. Woo-woo. Let's do... we've got the money. Let's put a dragon on it.
Cheyenne will flourish thanks to you. And for each mile of track that we lay, we receive 10 square miles of land. The politicians have no idea of the value of the assets they're giving away, but that stays between us.
The politicians? What? The politicians.
Do you know that many people call the vast stretch of land between the Mississippi and California the Great American Desert? Those fools. Once my railroad has opened everything up, the value of these lands will go through the roof.
Union Pacific Railroad has the fastest train. The number 51 Dragon hits 34 miles an hour. Wow! 34 miles an hour? That's so fast. Robber gives away gun. Large-scale theft is apparently stressful. When Jimmy Smith entered the Union Bank in Kansas City to rob it, he took a bag and a gun with him. Instead of the bag, he gave the cashier his weapon. When he realized what he'd done, he ran away. Oh my god. World's dumbest criminals right there. Mother forgets child. We saw that already. Wow, they're reporting on the same things twice in a row. Look at that puppy run. Ooh, look at that. How many people's on that train? No people were on that train. What? Oh yeah, we probably need a supply tower. Supply tower. That's a pretty long stretch. Let's put 2. Jesus, it took off like a, well, like a locomotive. That was funny. No, you're only, no, 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 no. Uh-oh. That's not good. Maybe we need, maintenance tunnel there, or a maintenance thingy. Yeah, probably. Let's put a yeah. All right, we'll give it a maintenance building. There we go. It's not transporting people. It's only transporting goods. How do we change that? Passengers and mail only. There we go. Alright, so what I did there, if you set up your rail line, you'd get the option to change how you want it. See, for example, let's go back into that again. And select your rail line. See, so you can go down here, loading. This is, so you can do it, it's automatic, first of all, right? But you can do passengers and mail only, which is what we want. Freight only, manual, automatic. Or passenger. So we want to put it on passengers because we want to complete this, and that way we will finish this up real quick here. Fix our railroad. Yeah, get it working. Campbell breeding near Amarillo. The Campbell family has got in touch with you. As a rule, business is currently experiencing difficulties. The family is looking for an investor. Would you like to take over the business for $199,000? No. No, I don't want to do that. Why would I want to do that? I mean, we can invest in some businesses and stuff later on, but right now we don't need to do that. Is that just one passenger? $12 passengers per car. Ooh, wow. We're going to put a maintenance building right there as well. Come on. That train is really prone to breakdowns, apparently. Again, only 12 passengers. Alright, so this is going to take a little bit. What we need to do is make, I guess, this city more profitable somehow. Not 100% sure how to do that. I did listen, so I guess we need to make this city bigger so that it can profit more and we can send more people over here. So we could add a rail line and then send it down over here. Alright, what we'll do, I don't want to fool with it. I'm just going to let it run real quick, and I will be right back once we actually complete the scenario. Hey, well, okay, guys, so we finally finished this chapter. It took us a little bit. I had to try to, I was working on trying to get some other rail lines in there to try to make the city more profitable to attract more people. But in the end, by the time it took me to build everything, I ended up just getting it 12 passengers at a time. So, nonetheless, though, it took a little longer than expected, but we finished the chapter. It was a success. So, that concludes the first chapter of Railway Empire here on my channel. I will see you guys again next week. We will conquer, well, we will accept the challenge of Chapter 2 and see how well we do in that and learn a little bit more about the game at that point. So, thanks for tuning in. I will see you guys in the next video tomorrow. Later.
In spite of all the challenges, the Union Pacific Railroad managed to cross the endless expanses of the Great Plains and conquer the merciless slopes of the Rocky Mountains. The Central Pacific Railroad approached from the west, but the winter of 1868 brought all work to a standstill. The two lines lay just a few hundred miles across from each other, in the middle of nowhere in the mountains. The dream of the first transcontinental railroad seemed to be within touching distance, but was buried by house-high masses of snow and blown away by icy snowstorms, a dream that had begun almost 4 decades before.
Hey everyone, if you'd like to help support me and my channel, I have a Patreon page where you can do just that. You can pledge anything from $1 or more. Anyone who pledges $15 or more gets a unique, specially designed roller coaster and Planet Coaster made just for them. My little way of saying thanks. You can also just send donations as well if you don't want to join Patreon. And you can find those links in the video description below. Every tiny red cent I make from these means the world to me and is extremely helpful. If you're interested in my PC setup that I work with and play on that you see here, every piece of the system is described below with links to Amazon if you want to purchase them or anything else. Thanks for tuning in to my videos and my channel. If you aren't already a subscriber, click that on the screen below. And you can also check out a few of my other videos on the screen here as well. You can keep up to date on what's going on in my own little world via Twitter or watch me stream live on Twitch as well. Links are in the video description below. So wherever you are in the world, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.